friends, and happy Thursday to you. Well, this is really different for In the Loop because, we typically come live to you on Wednesdays, but welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us. And if you're joining us on a replay, thanks for joining us with us here as well. Those of you who are new to the show, welcome to In the Loop with Winnie and Greg. I'm Winnie's son, longtime financial pro, CNBC council member, and all that good stuff. And of course, I'm excited to join the one and only Greg Nibbler. Greg, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Hello. It is good to be here. Yeah, like you said, it is Thursday, normally on Wednesday, but whenever you're watching, wherever you're watching, we just appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, I'm Greg Nibbler. As it says right there, a longtime tech reporter covering all kinds of things in the world of tech, but really trying to focus on the fun and cool things. But today we're doing our special episode that we do here every once in a while where we talk about what to watch, what to stream. There are so many options out there. And so when we get to that section here coming up, we always like to hear what you want to watch, what you have to say. That doesn't matter what show it is, but specifically on this one, I want to hear what you have for recommendations for us. So drop those in the comments, whatever platform you're on. Like I said, live or watching afterwards, send us a message, let us know, and we'll give you a few recommendations to check out as part of the show. But it's just good to be here with everybody. We always like being here with you every week. And I know Winnie always starts us off too with what's going on in the real world. In what's happening.
It's in the real non-robotic world, right?
Yes, the non-robotic world.
Although I think robotics is pretty new now, but I'm glad we're doing this show, Greg, because I was just thinking I need to ask Greg what to watch now because you've been giving us some great suggestions, the last few quarters. And so I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. But Greg, I have some good news today, and I'm happy to be able to report this, especially considering what happened last week. We have a triple update today. Market did really, really well. Dow closed up 205 points. NASDAQ up almost 200 points as well, up 199 points. S&P 500 also up 44. So we see positive gains thanks to positive GDP data, and strong earnings is coming from companies such as Tesla and Microsoft. And of course, the NASDAQ and the Dow and the S&P all saw positive gains because the GDP data showed that there was an increase in expansion of the economy of almost 3% at 2.9% during the fourth quarter, which, as you guessed, was better than expectations. And a little bit of other good news for those of you who've been hearing me talk about layoffs left and right. It just seems like so many companies are laying off employees the last few weeks. Well, here's some good news. If you're looking for a job or just looking for something to do, Chipotle is actually going to be hiring 15,000 workers ahead of what they call the burrito season. Now, of course, I had to look up what is burrito season because I was thinking Greg might ask me what burrito season is. Well, burrito season, Greg, is actually the months of March to May. So I guess we're right around burrito season. And so Chipotle is saying, they are really gung-ho. They're going to be bringing in 15,000 full-time and part-time employees. If you're looking for work, I'm guessing one of the benefits is you get to eat Chipotle, which probably is kind of fun. But they really want to. They're going to increase their footprint to over 7,000 locations here in North America. So yeah, I don't know, Greg, have you ever thought about working at Chipotle? Because I feel like that could be fun.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if necessarily working there. I'm curious though right now, for one thing, burrito season. Like I want to know how they determine that that's March to May. To me, every day is burrito season. So that's not going to change anything for me. I mean, if it means eating more burritos during that time, I'll do my part 100% on that. But I think that's great though that they're announcing hiring because I mean, honestly, with all the other news that's come out lately of people, losing their jobs and things like that, that's fantastic that there's more people
100%.
coming on.
Yeah, that's so okay.
Yeah, I don't know about working there though. I don't know how good I would be at making other people's burritos. Like I know exactly what I want. I might not be the best for that.
I know. And then, I feel like, there's like the scoop size limit, right? I feel like I'd be so nice. I don't want to give people more and I get in trouble.
Exactly.
But
yes.
Yeah. And I see Vicky joining us here with us live as well. Vicky, actually, today's a really fun episode. And I'm really glad that you're here with us because Greg and I are going to break down what to watch. And on that note, let me just segue to one more story and I'm going to hand this over to Greg. And that is Netflix. For those of you who have Netflix, watch Netflix, are going to be taking notes on what to watch today. do you know that Netflix is planning to crack down on password sharing? What's going to happen this first quarter of 2023. So if you're sharing your password with your family members, your loved ones, your friends, whoever, the general public, then we'll probably want to stop doing that pretty soon because the streaming giant says that they know that people are sharing passwords outside of their subscribers' household and that this is a big no-no. In fact, they're saying that sometimes one person can share it with multiple households and they haven't been cracking down as aggressively on this as they have uh, in the past. They haven't done too much, but they are going to be doing that very, very soon. So now they're going to make sure that those who are sharing their passwords outside of their immediate households, you're going to now have an option to pay extra if you want to do that. But there is some good news. So for those of you who travel like I do, right, and I want to take our Netflix account with us, well, you're still going to be able to do that still. But be warned, if you're sharing that password, you probably are going to be stopping pretty soon because there's a crackdown coming. Um, so I don't know, Greg, do you share your password? I'm guessing not.
Absolutely not, Winnie. I have never done that in my life. There's certainly not logins on my laptop that I'm not paying for. This is gonna be rough because I think if Netflix is starting this, it's gonna be just a matter of time before everybody else kind of follows suit with that. And then it comes down to the issue. I think what's going to happen is, to me, I think you'll kind of see some people have to just pare down like what subscriptions do you really want? Because I think very few people are going to subscribe to every single one of them. That's kind of the trade-off, right? Is
Mhm.
I got this one, you got this one. I don't know. I feel like it's better for the streaming services in the end, but then again, I'm not working in their accounting department, so I don't know exactly. But it's not going to garner a lot of goodwill
Yeah.
towards
People
Netflix.
are not going to be too happy about this.
No, no. But that's probably the way that it's all going to be going. So we'll just have to figure it out. And I guess make some more subscriptions. I guess it depends on how much the extra charge is too. If we
Yeah,
want
it
some,
depends on how much the extra charge is. And
yeah.
I mean we have to compare it to the price of movies, right? When you go out to movies anyway.
Mhm.
So that's what I really want to hear from you, Greg, of like, so this time are we staying more at home and watching streaming movies, or are you going out and telling us to go back to the theater?
Well, I think there's definitely some movies coming up that are going to be theater worthy. I mean, there's still the ones that are out there right now. I still haven't seen Avatar: Way of Water, and I'll tell you the only reason is I haven't found a reason to. 3 hours is kind of a long time for me to sit in a theater, but I do want to go see that one. I know there's some other ones that we're going to talk about too, but I've got something for watching at home. So some
Cool.
recommendations. And this is going to the Star Wars universe now. One thing to say, this new season actually doesn't start till March 1st. So I kind of jumped the gun on it a little bit. I was so excited about it. I forgot that it's still a little ways out, but this is all the more reason to catch up on everything else. And that is The Mandalorian season 3 is on the way. I got to say,
Cool.
this is sooner than I expected. I actually thought this was going to be later in the year, but March 1st is not that far away. And you're going to be seeing a lot of trailers for this. So they had this big trailer that was released during the NFL playoffs just a little over a week ago, teasing season 3. It became the highest streamed Star Wars trailer within 24 hours. I think it was like 80 some million within 24 hours. It's had a lot of views on it, and it looks fantastic. So if you haven't jumped into the Star Wars TV streaming universe, they're doing a really good job. Like, even say if you watch the movies and maybe you didn't like the last 3 movies, or they weren't just necessarily super excited about them, the TV series are so good. And that includes The Mandalorian season 1, season 2. You have all the spinoffs for, there's Obi-Wan as well, which that's kind of set in a different time. You have the Boba Fett one that ties into this. So it's a lot of content out there. If you haven't dived in to The Mandalorian, you have definitely a month's worth of stuff to watch that will bring you right up to speed when season 3 comes out. But I am very excited about this. This looks so good. Every time every season's been really great. It's kind of like a Western set in space with, everything else thrown in. It's fantastic. So that's
This
kind of my
looks
recommendation.
fantastic. I
It's
mean,
so
Greg,
much
you
fun.
gave us such a good suggestion. I think it was right around the holidays when you told us about the Marvel Christmas special, and that was
Yes.
incredible. We must have, at our house, we must have watched that like 15 times. So this thing, March 1st, definitely on the calendar. This one looks so fun. It's amazing, Greg, how quickly they can turn over these shows for us
Yeah.
now. Don't you think?
Yeah. I was surprised that this came out this quick. I really did think it was going to be later in the year, but season 3 already there because Andor just finished up. If you haven't watched Andor, also just fantastic series and a lot of episodes in that one too. Surprisingly, how many episodes they had in that? I think it's like 16 or so. So this one though, season 3, really just so much fun, like so good. You mentioned that Guardians of the Galaxy one. I watched that myself probably at least 4 or 5 times.
It was
Showing it
so
to other
good.
people.
It was
Yeah,
so cute. I
so good.
loved it.
Yeah,
And if you didn't see it, you gotta watch it. I mean, you'll see Kevin Bacon in a way you never thought.
yeah,
Oh.
he's so good at it. So there we go. So that's Mandalorian. I'm saying catch up on all of that over the next month to get ready for March 1st. And I got some more, but I want to hear. Let's hear one of yours.
You got it. Well, I got to thank Curtis Peak, my creative director, for helping me out on this. It was so much fun. And I want to say, of course, a welcome to Sadiq joining us. It's so great to have you with us. I know you missed us yesterday, right? Because we're usually on Wednesday. So thanks, Sadiq, for jumping in with us today. So this is what we have to share with you today, and that is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, this one is rated PG-13. Now, you can't watch this via streaming. You're going to have to get yourself to the theater. I guess for Greg, it'll be after Avatar. But this is going to be in theaters on February 17th, right in time for that a 3 or 4 day weekend, President's Weekend, depending on where you're at. Now, this is a fun one. Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to find themselves in the exploring the quantum realm. If you haven't seen this yet, I think this has a little bit of something for everyone. Kind of reminds me of like a sci-fi. You know, I love it when they can make everything look so different. It's almost got a little bit, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Greg.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I am really excited about this one. This is one I definitely will be going to the theater to see. I've actually already kind of planned it out. I'm either going to see it in IMAX or Screen X. So probably in IMAX theater because of the fact that from everything I've read about it and what I've seen so far is the world that they're creating, you know, this quantum world. There's so much going on that that kind of surrounded screen, I guess, really adds something to it. So I haven't been to an IMAX movie in quite a long time, and this is one that I am going to make a point to go see this in that. It's kind of the culmination of everything that's going on in this phase of Marvel. And you got Kang the Conqueror, and I can nerd out about this as much as we want, but I would say it looks so good. I mean, even just visually, it looks pretty fantastic. And I think kind of bringing all that together, I'm sure there's going to be like a lot of guest stars in it. And probably surprise characters that'll show up. But yeah, this is setting up everything that's going to be going forward with Marvel. I think this is kind of the one that's going to set it up for all this next stuff.
Right, and I love the character Ant-Man in Marvel. I just think it's
Yeah,
so fun, right? If you've
yeah,
seen the previous shows with him, and I see Sadiq is saying Titanic 25th anniversary. Vicky is also saying Vicky will
cool.
also be heading into IMAX to see this movie. This is going to be a good one. I mean, you talked about Avatar. This one, I know we're big Marvel fans at my house, and I know this is on everyone's radar.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I will probably see this opening weekend. This
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, look at
yeah.
that. Let us know if you're
And
going to
that's
be
I think it's
joining
a
Greg and
3-hour
doing
movie
it.
too, but I'll still sit. I'll be there. I'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you might as well make it a double feature and sit there for 6 hours.
Yeah. Oh man, I will be sound asleep. If I sit still that long, I'm out. But that one, yes, so good. So
That's that. That one's February 17th. You know, that one you can see in just a few weeks. So if you're a Marvel fan, yeah, don't miss that one.
So I've got another one that you can watch now that is out, and it's only a couple of episodes are out, so you can kind of get in at the beginning. And it's another one that was highly anticipated. I'm sure a lot of you are watching it, but maybe you haven't started it because you're unsure about what it's about. And it is The Last of Us on HBO Max. So this is based off of a video game, and usually things. I mean, this is just traditionally anything based off a video game, whether it's a TV series or movie, it's pretty rare that any of them turn out very good. They just don't. This so far really is great. And if you played the video game, you know the story, but it's one of the, I would say, of like, and this is generally understood by a lot of people as far as the story of this video game. It's one of the best that's ever been created. It's really you have emotions in it. You have the story of actually what's happening. You have all these different characters that interact. It really is set up for a TV series and a movie if it's done well, and they are doing a really good job of it, in my opinion. Right now, you got Pedro Pascal, who whatever Pedro Pascal is in, I'm gonna watch. So that's kind of set. Look, actually, now that I think about it, I just did 2 of his shows. I didn't even realize it. The Mandalorian to the last of everything I had to do has to do with Pedro Pascal.
It's a theme.
It's a theme. I didn't even think about that when I was doing this, but yes.
He's
So
brilliant.
if he's in it, recommend it. But yeah, it's essentially the story is this, and now this is definitely rated R because it's I'm sure it would be if there's a rating on it, but it's the tale of a pandemic, but a different kind of pandemic. It's a fungus that takes over and turns people into kind of zombies. So you have a little bit of that kind of trope to it, but it's a different kind of spin on it. But that's really kind of in the background. The real thing is the characters, the interaction between them all. There's action. There's a lot of really good actors in it. It's a really great story. Now there are some tough scenes in it. They kind of I don't want to spoil anything. I guess if you've played the video game, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, be prepared for that. But it's really, really good so far. And so I would recommend this not to watch with kids, but if you're into anything of what I've just said, that this is one I highly recommend. They've done such a good job so far.
So, Greg, if you don't play the game and you know the story, do you still recommend? Do you think like you need to know some of the background, or you're good?
They're doing a really good job of explaining what's happening without if you haven't played the game. From what I've talked to everybody who hasn't played the game and has been watching it, they're understanding it. Like I know a few things that are going to happen that happen in it, but they're also changing it up enough too to where they have to just in the the conversion to this, that I think it's going to kind of diverge a little bit from the video game. It has to at some point. So I think there's a little bit for everybody, but they're telling the story pretty well. They're really explaining it out. And so I think you don't need to have played the video game. You can maybe know the general idea. Like I said, there's a pandemic apocalypse kind of situation. And then you have the
Those are
survivors.
fun to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's really good.
Well, Vicky doesn't have HBO Max, she says, but hopefully Vicky can. Maybe you'll get a chance to maybe catch it on another platform, because a lot of times I think a lot of streaming channels eventually they share on other platforms. I've noticed that on some of them. So
yeah. Right now, I mean, there's only 2 episodes out so far, so it's got a little ways to go. But something that if you haven't given it a shot yet, I would recommend, and don't worry about having played the video game. Watch it anyway.
Just watch it. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I love it. Thank you so much, Greg. All right, so I have one for those of you families out there who are watching us live, because as you know, we also stream to Modern Mom, and this is Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Now, this is a really cute one. It's rated PG. It is coming to Netflix, so you don't have to go to theater for this one. And this will be on February 4th. So the first week of February will be on Netflix. This is based on the best-selling book series by Bernard Weber. So Lilo Crocodile is a live-action CGI musical comedy. So this is going to be really fun. I think those of you who have read this to your kids, or your kids have read this series, I think you're really going to enjoy this book. It's a cute little story, but I love how it combines like real actors with sort of that CGI. And of course, having music is always. I really like, Greg. I feel like there's more movies now that incorporate sort of a musical spin to it, and it's fun. I even saw that recently on Emily in Paris, which is a really popular streaming show. I think on Amazon. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? So cute, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love any kind of good CGI that's added in there. Looking at special effects, I am not familiar with Lyle Crocodile, but that would be understandable on my end. But it's this looks like it's fun. I mean,
Yeah, some big actors. Constance Wu,
yeah,
Shawn Mendes is going to be there. Probably he's going to be singing. Javier Bardem is going to be in there as well. So there's a lot of really great. It'll be fun to see. A very diverse crew and cast, which I'm most excited to see.
yeah. I mean, this looks like a great one to put on. So,
yeah, so you got families. Yeah, Vicky say family fun, love musical. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a great one for families. PG rated, super easy, especially if you got nothing to do, and it's on Netflix, so you don't even have to go to the theater if you don't want it.
Yeah, just don't share your passwords. So
don't share your passwords. Good point.
Great. Well, I've got one more. This is one actually that you can watch today. So this is just coming out, and it's called Poker Face. It's actually on the Peacock network, so the Peacock streaming service. So this is one. If you have that one, then you're going to be seeing this pop up all over the place because this is the one that they're really pushing. But this is and kind of an interesting take on a murder mystery kind of situation. So this is called Poker Face,
Hmm.
and this show is stars Natasha Lyonne, but it's also created by Ryan Johnson. So Ryan Johnson, who did all the American Horror stuff, and Ryan Johnson, who does pretty much everything now. I think he's involved in like every show that's ever created. So Ryan Johnson is the co-creator or creator of this, but it revolves around this. So Natasha Lyonne, the basic premise is that she plays this worker at a casino, but she has an uncanny ability to tell if somebody is lying. And her boss wants her to start using that. Things happen. There's a murder. She's got to solve it. And then she has to head out on the run. So she's basically going from town to town. It's really like those classic 70s and 80s shows where there's a murder in a town, then you solve it. Each episode's got some guest stars. Then you move on to the next town, another thing, kind of bringing it along. So you get lots of different people in it. A little bit like Murder, She Wrote, or another comparison was the old Incredible Hulk TV show. That's really old, but still, where you go town to town and have to solve a mystery. And this seems like it's going to be pretty fun. I have not watched it yet, but it just came out. I'm going to definitely watch this actually later today to give my, to really try it out. But it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It
you
looks
gotta
like
let us know how this goes.
yeah,
I do
different
have
setting
TikTok. I'm
each
gonna check
day.
this out. Mhm.
Yeah, different setting each episode. So looks fun.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember in the 90s, there were a lot of shows like that that would have a
Yeah,
different, I can't remember. Like Tales of the Crypt was like that. Like every day was sort of a different spin to it.
yeah,
Very fun.
different theme. Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
one to check out.
We'll definitely check that out. Okay, cool. Well, I'll show you my last one, Greg, before we end for the day here. And this one, I think, especially this is again in that sort of realm of family entertainment. This one's called The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Now, this is going to be streaming on Disney Plus
Okay.
on February 1st. So, very, very quickly here. So, this is called The Proud Family, Loud and Louder. It's sort of a revival of the original animated Disney Channel series, which they call The Proud Family, which originally had aired in 2001, 2005, but now it's coming to Disney Plus. Brand new, a 16-year-old girl. Her family navigates their lives in the 2020s now. So very fresh, a little bit more new. And so they're also introducing two new characters. So for those of you who had like animated and easy, painless entertainment, this is probably one your kids are going to want to check out. So just so you know, it's available February 1st. And it's nice. I think it's nice because you'll see, again, a very diverse animated cast, I guess you would say. Again, not really cast, but animate diverse characters. So
Voices.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So that's another one that's on Disney Plus. I get Disney Plus really kind of knocking it out of the park here.
They are. They're really busy. They're doing a lot of, and again, I'm just so surprised how quickly some of this new production is coming out. So there's definitely a lot of things to watch if you just have a rainy weekend or a lazy weekend. Definitely a lot of things to catch up on. And Greg, I'm really glad we're doing this more frequently because we've got a lot of comments saying how they love our recommendations on what to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had some people even posting on Twitter earlier, just kind of their recommendations. There's so much. I was gonna try to pull, let's see here. I've got Last of Us. Some other people's talking about that. Mayor of Kingstown. That's a good one. Definitely an adult themed one. The Chucky TV series. So there's all kinds of stuff that people are recommending that are out there, and that's why I love doing these kinds of shows because I find out things that are out there that I may not even be aware of.
Yes, actually, yeah. So, yes, for those of you who are watching, definitely do that. And Marsha Collier actually tagged me this week as well on something to watch on Netflix, which I don't have right in front of me, Marsha, but definitely thank you so much for saying it to me. I do plan to try and check that out this weekend. And want to say a quick hello and welcome to Joshua Crossx Spider joining us and saying Crossx Spider actually has watched The Proud Family on Disney Plus before. So, yeah, if there's anything we missed that we should be watching and, we should obviously we can't keep track of everything.
Yeah.
Definitely let us know. Go on social and tag Greg Nibbler, tag Winnie's son. We want to know what you're watching and what you're enjoying, and maybe even add a little line of why you suggest that we check this out. I think we
Yeah.
would love to get your input.
Definitely. Yeah. And then it helps other people find shows too, because maybe there's one you really like and maybe it's not getting a lot of people watching it. Well, you get more people watching it. That means it's going to keep on going and they'll get more seasons. And so that can help the show out as well. So,
Totally.
yeah, really
Absolutely.
cool. Fantastic. Well, this is fun. I always love these episodes. I love every episode we do.
They're so much fun. Well, thank you so much, Greg. We love doing this show with you for sure. So much fun. And thank you, all our friends, for tuning in and being here and supporting our show. And do us a favor, if you enjoyed it, share this on social, tag Greg and I so we can properly thank you, because we really appreciate your support. And of course, we're going to come back next week, because we couldn't have another week without keeping you in the loop.
Fantastic. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Take care.